Hey guys, what's up? It's Sean, Autotopia LA, and recently I was out at the quarantine cruise, cruising PCH, and I gotta be honest, man, the second vehicle that caught my eye was this one, and it was because it was further away than the first vehicle. Randy, right?
Yeah.
So you guys, I walk up to Randy, hey, really dig your vehicle. Would you like to shoot with us? Thankfully, people a lot of times know who we are, and they're like, oh yeah, sure, you know? But I heard from your friend, I can't remember his name.
Buck.
Yes. He said you did this whole thing yourself?
I did.
Everything, paint, body, build it.
The whole thing.
Is that what you do for a living?
No, I've always been a car guy since I was a little kid. I loved cars. And my first car was a 39 Ford that I got when I was 14 years old. My dad knew I loved cars. He said, let's get you an old car and we can fix it and have it ready to go by the time you're 16.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've done stuff, but nothing to this extreme.
I'm curious, what do you do work-wise? Is it even related to mechanical at all?
Well, I came to California to pursue an acting career.
Got it.
But I also, my rent-paying gig.
Yeah, sure.
I'm a freelance painter and handyman kind of guy.
Okay, so you already have that. I'm always just curious, dude, when people say they do it themselves and then, like we've met guys like Craig 909, right? Or this other kid, Ethan. They're both going to school to become mechanical engineers, or one's mechanical, one's the other type of engineering.
Civil engineer, but it's the same math.
So it makes sense, right?
Yeah,
they have that mindset.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's just a curious, that's all. What year is this?
66.
And how clean was it when you started?
I bought the truck in '09. It was my daily driver for 3 years with this stock twin I-beam suspension and the old 352 Cruise-O-Matic.
So basically what the truck originally was.
Yeah, except I added disc brakes and power steering to that setup because I was going to daily drive it. In 2012, I put a fuel-injected 5.0 from a 92 Mustang in here with an AOD, still with the stock suspension. And that was a game changer because it ran way better than 352, got twice the gas mileage. So that was awesome.
Yeah.
And I drove that until 2021 when I did this whole thing. I've been gathering parts for a Coyote swap for a while.
All right, well, let's pop the hood. I'll be able to see a little more of, so you Coyote swapped this?
Yes, I did.
I mean, dude, this thing is, I cannot believe you did this all by yourself.
It was quite the challenge.
Is it still stock framework under the truck?
The frame itself is stock. The suspension is not. The supports are not. The suspension is actually C4 Corvette, front and rear. So it's independent front, independent rear. There's a company called Flat Out Engineering in Orange County that makes a kit to adapt the suspension to various kinds of vehicles, and the Ford trucks being one of them. I boxed the frame. Progressive Automotive, this company in Ohio, built me a tubular X member for the center of the frame. So it doesn't, I jack it up, it doesn't twist at all.
And is it stock Coyote or?
Basically it's a stock Coyote. It's a Gen 2, came from a 2016 Mustang. I added the intake and the cold air intake and the headers and 3-inch exhausts. And other than that, it's stock internals.
So you're what, 450-ish, something like that?
Well, the tuner guy said it was close to 500.
Okay.
No cats and all this, I assume that kicks it up a little bit.
Sure.
I know it's about twice as fast as my old 302 was.
Yeah, right? And then what do you go to, like transmission, rear end?
The transmission is a 6R80, came from the same car as the engine. So it's a 6-speed automatic. And then the rear end is the Dana 44 version of the C4 Corvette suspension. They had a Dana 36 and a Dana 44. So I found one from a 91 Corvette that was a 48,000 mile rear end and fit that under there. After I put that tubular X member in there, it's just weaving that 3-inch exhaust through all that and then under the differential and out the back.
And did you do the exhaust yourself too?
I fabbed it myself. I still don't know how to TIG.
Okay, got it.
2 doors down from where I built it, my friend Jeff Jones, he did the TIGging for me after I tack welded it with MIG.
It's really kind of quiet, actually. I'll bet you when you're digging in, it probably makes noise.
Well, and also on initial startup in the morning, it does this kind of loud rev thing for like 30 seconds. So it's like, wake up the neighbors, here we go. Is
this all you, or is this part of a kit that you got?
No, this is the factory fender wells I cut out for the suspension down there on the bottom, but that's the factory shape.
It is.
And then I painted them to match the grill and the wheels and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And the whole underside of the body is color matched bed liner in the same color.
brake-wise, is this also C4 stuff?
No, this is, I put this Hydro Boost on it before, after I had a near collision with the thing. I had drum brakes on the rear, traffic stop on the 10, and I didn't stop. So I slid into the back of this car.
Oh, man.
Just barely crunched my bumper a little bit, but it scared me enough that I'm gonna do four-wheel discs on the thing. I got an 8.8 from an old Crown Vic with the rear discs and limited slip, and put that under there, and I switched to Hydro Boost at that time.
What are these wheels? What are sizes and tires and all that?
Detroit Steel, they're called the Mac, and these are 18x9 on the front, 18x11 on the rear. Since the truck has been Mustang powered since 2012, I just kind of thought, well, I need to name it something. So you got this Mustang thing going through it, and so I just tacked a GT on the end of F100. And so these wheels are kind of an homage to the 68 Mustang and Torino rally wheels that they had. I got the repop caps, and then the spokes in these wheels sort of, play into that theme a little bit. And the rear wheels, I definitely wanted 11s on the rear. I don't know why, I just did. I like a big fat wheel on the rear. And but Detroit Steel didn't make an 18x11, so I bought 4 18x9s, and then I had an old guy widen them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, give me 2 inches on the inside.
What are your tire sizes on here?
The fronts are 245/40 18s. The rears are 295/40 18s.
Got it. Okay. So you didn't have to do tubbing back here, or you did?
I did actually widen the tubs inside about
you did.
3 3/4 inches. Yeah.
Got it. Since you've had it since you said 09 and you had been driving it, is this original color or no?
The Wimbledon white is the original color.
It is?
Yeah. It went through some color changes over time just because I used to have to park it on the street in front of my apartment. A guy fell asleep and hit it one night, right on the corner there, slid down the side of the truck, caught the front bumper, deep V'd the bumper, caught that wheel, folded the wheel over, and bent the I-beam.
Oh, wow.
Of course, the insurance company wants to total it, and I wouldn't let them have the truck because I knew it wasn't total. It was just all stuff I could easily repair. As a result of that, I ended, rather than fix the old bed, because I found a lot of Bondo in that old bed, I bought another one on eBay. So I saw pictures, and in the pictures, I thought it looked Wimbledon white. But when it arrived,
it wasn't.
It was Sahara beige. So I had a beige bed and a white cab, and that going on for a long time. And then in 2020, I had some rust up here in the roof and in the drip rail up here. And I was talking to my buddy in Arizona, I sent pictures, how do I repair this? He said, put a new roof on it. He said, I got a rust-free roof in my backyard. If you want to bring it over, we'll put it on.
So just cut the roof off.
So yeah.
I know I'm simplifying, but it's cut the roof off and drop it on.
Basically, that's what we did. I drove over there one weekend. I got there on Friday. We cut the roof off Saturday morning. We were fighting rain. Had the new roof welded on by Sunday afternoon, shot some epoxy on it, and I drove it back to California on Monday morning.
You did all the paint work yourself?
I did.
Do you have a paint booth to work in or something? Or?
In this big warehouse where my friend let me build the truck, I got an inflatable paint booth.
Oh, okay.
And blew that up inside the warehouse, which worked pretty well.
Oh, dude, the truck looks great. I saw it out in the light. That was what stood out to me, was how great this thing looks. The stance on it, the color choices, the trim work. You did all this yourself? You painted it, like everything?
I did, yeah.
That's badass.
When I say I did the truck myself, I did all the labor myself, but there's a whole lot of people involved in just asking questions. And
can we pop open the back? I'm just kind of curious. Oh yeah, of course it's gonna be up there, huh? Dude, it's so bitchin' how you did all this yourself. This is cool that you kept it as a usable truck.
Put my gas filter over here in the side.
That's slick. Are the bumpers still stock fitment?
No.
Exactly, I didn't think so.
Not. The front one I narrowed 3 inches and then pushed it back 1.5 inches and also shaved the bolts. The back one I just pushed it in at least 1.5 inches because it would normally stick out here pretty far.
Yeah. Well, you're not kidding. This is a tight fit in here, huh, man?
Yeah, it is.
Tight fit.
Oh, shut up. I know with you two morons. I like, no matter what we say,
it's a tight fit for that extra 2 inches. And now, yeah.
Freaking Beavis and Butthead over here, man. I'm surprised you guys out loud aren't like, ugh.
Damn it, Beavis.
These lights are from Dapper Lighting.
Yeah.
But I had them send me the housings before they assembled them so I could paint them to match the grill. They come in black or chrome or whatever.
And you really thought through all the details, didn't you? I think it's so tastefully done. This is another one that caught my eye. Is this stock mirror?
That's a stock mirror.
It is.
They painted them, yeah. That's how they mounted them.
Wild, dude. Wow. Now, interior you did yourself also?
I had the seats reupholstered. The rest of it I did.
just curious, and a lot of this is for the guy or girl watching going,
yeah, sure.
I could never do that myself. I'm assuming you buy this and then it's an install of it, so doing it yourself doesn't mean like, yeah, I stitched the leather and...
No, all I did was, this was an ABS panel that I bought, and then I just wrapped it with the same fabric.
You did actually wrap it yourself?
Yeah.
Badass, dude. And it is.
Those are
a
map pocket,
zipper side part.
Yeah. Those are actually repops, but and they come in black, and I didn't want black on there, so I had my upholstery guys sew that zipper in there so I could match the seats with the same fabric as the seats.
And what are the seats from?
They're 66 Mustang seats.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I had the seats in there before I did this build because I had switched from the old bench. And there was actually available from Ford at the time, a Ranger package, they called it, and it put Mustang buckets in the truck. And this was not an original Ranger truck, but I put the bucket seats in there, and then I built the console and all that stuff.
Like, so you put in your own carpet and stuff?
Yeah, that was just Stock Interiors makes a molded carpet that fits these things. And
headliner too?
That was an ABS thing I covered and stuck in there.
Killer steering wheel choice, by the way.
I made that too.
Come on.
No, it was my stock wheel. I didn't like it so big. It was 17 inches, which is really big. I bought a Grant steering wheel that was all steel and had a similar Y configuration on the spokes. And I cut the spokes out, cut my spokes down to fit it, welded it together, and then epoxy finished all the things, and I had it wrapped.
Very cool.
That's a low car shifter.
I was just gonna guess.
In hindsight, I wish I'd gotten the 12-inch version instead of the 16.
Actually, I figured it was low car because I've seen these before, you know, and I think it's fitting of the interior.
I just wish it was 4 inches shorter.
Yeah.
Please stop.
AC you have in here?
Oh yeah, vintage air. I didn't like the under dash part of it. I've already got 3 holes in the dash. Why do I need holes in that silly thing? So I made a different plenum. I got a different plenum and fitted that in there and put my controls up here in the heater holes that were already in the dash.
Yeah, sure. And then what's the gauge?
It's Classic Instruments.
Tell you, Randy, number 1, thanks for coming up and stuff.
Absolutely.
And 2, genuinely knocked out by what you've created here, man. And that it's been, I know we were starting to talk and then numbnuts over here lost it. but that you've also had it on the road for right around about a year now.
Yeah, and
so you've probably found your bugs and issues. And
I drove it a couple thousand miles around Southern California to get the bugs out. And then in April, I took a 2-month road trip and drove it 7,000 miles. I went to Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Tennessee, North Georgia, back through. And I was visiting family and friends all along the way, and went to a couple of shows while I was
No issues?
I blew a power steering hose in Oklahoma City, pulled in the parking spot, and and my brother-in-law took me to the Napa store and put it on there in the parking lot, filled it back up with fluid, and went on down the road.
And that was it? That was the one issue that happened?
The only issue. In fact, I drove the first 2,000 miles without a spare even.
I'm just blown away that you got that many miles and are having no issues. Well, let's go put a few more miles on it. We'll go for a little drive. Dude.
Perfect.
Hey guys, I'm super excited to announce that we have a brand new collection coming out. We're calling this one The Player. New shirt, new hat. This might be my favorite design we've come up with yet. It's dropping on September 17th, so let's jump into today's episode. Obviously, you're not going to settle in with, oh, that doesn't bug me. Oh, that's okay. Oh, I can live with that.
Yeah, I'm not there.
It does, yeah, you can tell. You can tell you're more meticulous I mean, this thing is friggin' dialed in, dude.
Thanks, man.
Out at how it eats the bumps, no problem. Stiff enough that you can tell you're in something that's set up to be performance.
Yeah.
But it's setup so bitchin'. You touch the brakes, it doesn't do anything weird. Steering it, I mean, this is, bro, what a, and I mean, I ain't nobody, just another dude with an opinion, you know what I mean? But having driven a lot of vehicles, like there's plenty of them I've experienced before where, you know, right away you're watching every little thing because you know it's gonna do something that you don't want it to do.
Yeah.
I mean, this so far hasn't done one thing. Trips me out how we keep hitting bumps, and I'm like, slow it up, slow it up. Wow, great job, man. Great job on the whole. I mean, I'm sure there's people watching going, no way this guy did this whole truck himself. And I know you've mentioned where you got some help. Your buddy TIG welded your exhaust that you had already fabbed. I mean,
yeah.
And then it makes a great sound actually when you put your foot in it.
Yeah.
And you know what I just did. That's like 20% throttle.
Yeah.
But even this, dude, going through turns, I'm legitimately, you can tell, I'm legitimately impressed and enjoying the hell out of driving this thing.
Cool.
This is so cool. Hear me talk about this, but I really mean it. I'm not saying scary power is bad, because it's not. It's just, and we all have our different thresholds of what you consider to be scary, you know? Sure. That to me is like just fun, like, oh yeah, here we go. We're, you know, it's not, it ain't freaking me out. Like this thing just, even that just now, it just hooks and goes.
Yeah.
PCH to once again come through with an extraordinary vehicle. I mean, this was the second one that caught my eye at the last cruise. The idea that Randy built this whole thing by himself, including the paint, doing the interior, I mean, it's pretty amazing given that this guy doesn't build vehicles for a living. And then sitting in it, driving it down the road, running down the road with him. This is a flawless, perfect build, like literally perfect build. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I've also been throwing it out, not wearing it today, but we do have a new shirt dropping on September 17th. If you've never been over to the merch store, check out atlamerch.com. And with that, it's a big thanks for hanging and watching, and I hope you guys have a great one. I'll see you in the next one. Later.